An ambitious Democratic plan to overhaul elections using Congress is headed for defeat in the Senate, and Democrats spent the hours leading up to a crucial vote on it, arguing that democracy itself is at stake, while Republicans hit the Senate floor to accuse Democrats of attempting a power grab. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer pointed to voting reforms that red states have recently passed to claim millions of people are already getting their votes suppressed.
Because of one man's lie, Republicans are now doing the dastardly act of taking away voting from millions of Americans. Millions of Americans.
Republicans are unified in their opposition to the bill, and they have help from Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, who also says he doesn't support it. Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock argued that the Senate should at least debate the legislation rather than allow it to die thanks to the filibuster.
We should not think of this as rote and routine. This is a defining moment that calls upon us to speak, to debate, to act. After all, Congress represents the people. It is the job of Congress, as prescribed in Article 1, Section 4, to ensure that the people are not squeezed out and locked out of their own democracy.
But Democrats are nowhere near the 60 votes needed to advance the bill, known as the For the People Act. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell railed against the package because it would undo the reforms that several state legislatures have passed.
We know that it would let Democrats take a red pen to election laws in each of the 50 states, neutering popular precautions like voter ID while legalizing shady practices like ballot harvesting across the board. It's a recipe for undermining confidence in our elections.
Other Republicans questioned why such an ambitious proposal is necessary to fix democracy if the last election saw record voter turnout.
2 years ago, Democrats told us that we needed to pass this law because our electoral system was broken. Well, then came 2020. We had a record voter turnout.
GOP lawmakers have said the sweeping bill would amount to a federal takeover of elections that could rig the system in favor of Democrats. They also oppose a more narrow compromise proposal from Manchin, which they say still goes beyond the authority of the federal government. Manchin's compromise includes a voter ID requirement, which many activists on the left have previously characterized as racist. But voter ID is broadly popular. A new poll shows 80% of all Americans support requiring proof of identity to vote. Democrats, however, accuse Donald Trump of undermining faith in democracy by falsely claiming that he won the presidency in 2020, and the reforms are needed to restore trust and shield voters from GOP's state laws they say were passed on the basis of the former president's lies. The bill was defeated as expected on Tuesday, leaving the fate of a major Democratic agenda item uncertain. President Biden is already facing pressure from the left to champion a different version of voting reform, given what activists have characterized as the urgent need for it. Sarah Westwood for the Washington Examiner.